Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you? So today we're going to do a recipe out of this little cookbook which came from Viking this week, and this is the second cookbook they sent us since we've come back from China, and it has some amazing recipes in here. And hubby went through last night and just thought this one was absolutely amazing and we have to try it. So it's called Fricase de Pollo. Probably said it wrong. It looks like that. So we thought we'd give it a go, and we've got most of the ingredients in the house, bar orange. So I've just been to shop, couldn't get an orange, but got orange juice, which I need the juice for this recipe, so this will be absolutely fine. So the first thing I need to do is marinate the chicken, and what they suggest is that we do it for at least 1 to 2 hours. So we're going to do it a bit longer than that. I've got a whole chicken, which I'm going to take the skin off, which it tells you to do, which is brilliant if you're on Slim World, and then break it into pieces. So I'm going to go and do that now. I'm going to skin it first as much as possible because it will make it easier trying to do that, and then I'll obviously make it into little pieces, and then we'll get on to the marinade. So let's get doing the chicken. Right, so I've taken the chicken apart, it's there, and there's still bits of meat on the bone here, so I'm not going to waste this. I'm going to roast this off, and then I can pull the meat off and use it for sandwiches in the week, and then the bones I can use to make a stock later. And same with the chicken wings, I could add it into there, but it wouldn't really add any value, so I'm going to crisp those off again for a snack. And then the skin, again, I'm going to cook, because the dogs will enjoy that, all crispy. That's all going to go into a roasting tin and not get wasted. And then these chicken pieces need to go into a marinade, so I'm just going to pop them into there. Okay, and wash my hands. And I need to add 1/4 of lime juice, and I'm using the bottled rather than the fresh. And then the juice of an orange, it's either a bitter orange or orange juice with the lime, so I'm going for a normal orange. So I'll put a cupful in there. And then some pepper. And then I'm going to cover that with cling film and stick it in the fridge for a few hours to marinate. Just going to give it a bit of a toss first, just to make sure it's all covered. There we go. And then we can start prepping the rest of the dinner this evening. There we go. Right, so this has been in the fridge now for about 3 to 4 hours. And hopefully the chicken has really taken on all of that flavour. It smells divine with the citrusness of it all. So better get cracking on the rest of the dish. So hubby's been doing all the ingredients for me. So we've got some raisins, some onions, some bell peppers, tomatoes, flour and some potatoes, and then some olives and some garlic. Mustn't forget my oregano, one of the important ingredients. So first of all, we need to take all the chicken pieces out of the marinade, and then we're going to give them a really good damping down, so you want to get it to go dry. Alright, once you've done that, just place it onto a board and sprinkle it with flour. You just want to give it a nice, light, even coating on both sides. So just put it on and sort of rub it in a little bit. A bit like you would sort of like a Nando's fake away if you're doing like that, just to help keep in the flavours of the chicken when it's cooking. Now you need to pop them into a hot pan. Now this is the roasting tin that I used earlier today to cook the carcass off. I thought actually I'd use this again because it would keep the flavours of that chicken when it was roasting earlier. This is my Berghoff roasting pan, so it can go on the stove, it can go on a barbecue, and it can go in the oven as well. So it's really versatile, and it's great because it means we can cook everything in this one pot, and it saves on the washing up for us. So just going to pop those in and leave them to brown on the one side, and then once it's browned we'll sort of flip them over and then we'll brown it again on the other side. Right, so let's just give it a bit of a turn now. This is my hubby doing all the work today. He's in charge of the cooking, so I'm just videoing him. He doesn't like to get into the spotlight, but he does a great job in the kitchen for me. And you can just see the lovely colour on that chicken now. Okay, this is done now, I think, on both sides. Just give it a quick check. Yeah, and I think we're really happy with that. So just going to make sure they're all done. We have got some little pieces there which we're not going to waste, so they've obviously cooked a lot quicker. We don't want those to dry out, so they'll come out first. And just pop it on this plate, and then what we're going to do is stick it in a warm oven just while we prepare the rest of the meal. Right, so here's my pan. Again, we're not doing anything with this, keeping the pan exactly how it is because you want all those flavours. You can just see some broccoli on the side there. So we're going to pop in first of all the onions. And just give them a few minutes to cook a little bit. We're going to add in there as well the peppers and the oregano and the crushed garlic. So for ingredients wise, it's 1 green pepper, it's 4 cloves of garlic crushed, and then there is just 2 onions we used, and then we used just half a teaspoon of dried oregano in there, and we're just going to give that a little cook off until it starts to sort of get soft. The onions tend to go a little bit translucent, and as you can see now the colour's changed. And at the bottom of that pan you can see where you've got the chicken from earlier, the chicken breast that we did. So we're going to just pop some wine in. It's just 1 large glass of dry white wine, just so that we can actually get those flavours off the bottom. So we want to deglaze the bottom of that pan because all those flavours need to be absorbed into the whole dish. So I'm just getting all a little bit steamed up there. So with a wooden spoon, because this is a Berghoff pan, so you can't use metal, we're just scraping the bottom of that pan just to make sure we get everything up, because this is really crucial to the flavours. You don't want to lose anything in that pan, especially as I roasted the chicken carcass earlier. You can have all those flavours in there as well. You can now see it starting to bubble, and that is just perfect. And you can see the colour of that sauce in there already that's taken on those flavours underneath. So now we're going to start building this up, and we set aside the marinade earlier, so we need to add that into this dish. So let's just get that for you. Okay, so that's now in. Okay, don't want to waste any of it. Just give it a little stir to make sure it mixes in with the rest of the flavours. And this is where we now start in the rest of the ingredients. So we need to get the chicken back out of the oven. Okay, so I'm going to pop that in now. I'm just going to give it a little. Okay, so the chicken's in now, so that's great. And we need to start adding the potatoes. And then half a tin of crushed tomatoes. We've also then got a very small jar of the pimento stuffed green olives. Our jar is about 130 grams when it's drained. The recipe did say 100, so but we just thought for an extra 30 grams it's really not worth worrying about. And then also add some raisins. Now we didn't have some raisins, I'll be completely honest here, but we had mixed fruit, and I took out all of the orange peel out of it. So this is currant and raisins, but I will promise you it was divine. As I said, at the moment we can't buy everything we want ingredients wise, so if you have to tweak a little bit, it doesn't matter, and this certainly did not matter at all. Now we're going to bring all that to the boil, and then what we'll do is we'll pop the lid on, and we will stick that in the oven then for 30 minutes on about gas, not gas actually, it's 180 on my fan oven. So it's been a long time since I used gas, so I do apologise. But what you want is for the chicken to literally be cooked through and the potatoes to be softened. So you don't want it overcooked, and it doesn't dry out, to be honest with you. I probably would have done more liquid second time round. I probably would put some more wine in, or maybe some chicken stock, just to make it more liquidy. And I think, you know, it depends on what potatoes you've got. We've got here some very sort of absorbent potatoes. I think they took on a lot of the flavours, which was great from a food point of view, but probably could have more juice. So right, I think this is ready now to go into the oven for 30 minutes. Right, we're just going to pop that in the oven now and leave it for about 30 minutes, and we can just go and chill while it's cooking. And
here it is. It looks amazing, doesn't it? It actually smells amazing as well. So we're going to dish this up and then I'll show you what that looks like. We're having this with spicy microwave rice as well, so just for information, but you can have any rice with it, plain if you prefer it. But it is looking absolutely amazing there, you have to agree. And here it is. It absolutely looks amazing, and I can tell you now, it is amazing. I'm so grateful for Viking sending me this book through, because it just gives you something new to try with basic ingredients that you should hopefully have in your cupboard.
Right, so dinner last night was gorgeous. It really was. However, on reflection, I think there's a couple of improvements to this dish. Yeah, that's me. I think a bit of chicken stock would help give it more liquidity, if that's a word, and make it more juicy. Not much, just a little bit, just to give it more of a sauce, because it was a little bit dry, not dry, but drier than I probably would have liked. And I do think it's screaming feta on top, which I know isn't Caribbean, which is what this dish is, but I think feta will be amazing. So as the dish was for 4 people and there's only 2 of us, we have got half it left. So hubby and I are going to have it tonight for dinner, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change it a little bit. So it's exactly how it was yesterday, but I've got half a tin of tomatoes left from the recipe, so I'm just going to pour those all on top. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is pop some feta on top of it, and then I'll bake it, and then I'll add some more feta when I dish it up, and I'm going to serve it with rice again. So let me show you. Okay, so there it is there. Let me just find a spoon. So I've just poured the rest of the tomato tin on top, like so. Just mix it all up. There we go. And then I've just got a bit of feta, which I'm just going to crumble over. Like so. And then I'm just going to pop some foil on it, and I'm going to pop it in the oven to reheat, and then dish it up with some rice. So I will show you that when I dish it up for the second time. Okay. Right, so here is the dish. Looks amazing second time round, doesn't it? So guys, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, click notifications, and give me a thumbs up. Alright guys, I will see you on my next video. Oh, and don't forget to share my channel, because I really would love to grow it. I'd love to get to my first 1,000 if that's possible, especially in lockdown. Alright guys, see you soon. Take care. Bye.